Neqotkuk N'Tetli Mikwi Tahasoltipen. Too big we are remembering.
Neqotkuk N'Tetli Asha Neqotkuk N'Tetli. Hi, my spirit name is Butterfly. Well, my given name is Asha. I'm from Tobic First Nation, but I currently live in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Right now, I am an aspiring filmmaker. I have worked on several shows in this territory and in other territories. I've worked on particularly a lot in the summer, but up until that point, I had a little bit of experience here and there. I've worked on with CBC, worked with a few other production companies, and I recently just got back from Winnipeg last year, and I spent a month out there taking part in the CBC New Indigenous Voices program. That was a really fun experience. I got to work with my peers and other filmmakers across the country, and we made a short film together. We got to learn all the logistics of how to, from writing to pitching your script, and then all the pre-production stuff that comes with filmmaking. So that was really fun, and it was a great experience. Since then, my career has pretty much taken off in film, for a beginner at least. I've done some PA work on a show last summer called Odons, and I've also done some PA work on a show called Race Against the Tide, and also some documentary work. Women of This Land will be premiering, I think, couple months from now. I worked on that with Imelda Pearly. I also have done, I just won an award for one of my scripts actually. It's called Walk My Moccasins, which I will be filming in June. Hopefully be ready in 2024. And I've also just recently got a gig on Spirit Talker, so I'll be spending some time out in Vancouver a couple weeks from now, and I'll get credentials for those episodes. But apart from film, I also do beading. I have run and owned a business called Bear Beadwork for almost probably 10 years, close to 10 years. So I bead and then I sell my stuff on a website. My business has kept me going the majority of my artist career. So I basically run that. So I run Bear Beadwork. It started out being mostly earrings, and then I expanded it to like bracelets. I tried lighter cases. I can do moccasins. I can do necklaces, and I also recently added clothes and books and journals. My favorite thing to do definitely probably be earrings or pins or something where I can be creative. Definitely like more working with the pilling. So the pilling is basically the flat surface that you bead on. When I started making orange shirts, that's super meaningful and empowering for individuals to wear. Also poppies honoring our Indigenous veterans. Red dress campaign. So I usually make red dress pins. So just this year in 2023, or last year I guess, I got like 3 big orders from this lady. So one, I had to make orange shirts and orange hearts, and I had to make, like 20 of them. And then I had to make like 20 red dress pins, and then, I also done poppies for this lady as well. So that was a pretty big order. And I've also done pins for a company called Soar, and I did their logo. That one was really fun and experimental because I haven't done anything really like that. It was very complex design, so that was fun. And what else do I do? I'm also in school, so for the past 4 years I've been in school. I completed an Indigenous counseling, and I also completed my film certificate while I was in school. And right now I'm pursuing my master's. I'm in my hopefully last semester of actually taking classes. And I'll start my practicum this year. I'm not sure where or when, but when I talk to people about film, I tell them that it was always a passion, but I didn't realize it was up until recently. So when I was a kid, I would make YouTube videos with my friends. We'd come up with the ideas together, and I would basically now what I know is produce and edit the videos and market them actually even and post them to the world. And then after, when I came older, I kind of dropped that. Wasn't really into film, but I always liked being creative. So I studied theater because I thought I wanted to be an actress, and that didn't work out. I ended up getting kicked out of the program. We had to have a A average or B average in Nova Scotia, and their grading system's way different than New Brunswick. So I ended up getting kicked out because I got a B in one of my classes. So I decided to pursue studying theater, took some film theory classes at Dal, and ended up graduating with a double major in sociology and theater and a minor in Indigenous studies. I came home and worked in Tobic for a while. And actually, when I was in working at the high school, that's what inspired me to go back to school, because I was working with youth that necessarily didn't have the medicines in my bundle to help to my full capacity, so I decided to go back to school. With my degree in counseling, well, my master's degree, once it's completed, I'm not quite sure. I feel like it's not, I don't know, certain, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I feel like I kind of found this even though I applied for it. I'm not sure if I want to be a counselor full time, because I do love film. But however, I know, like, from my time in Winnipeg, that a lot of sets are looking to have counselors on set, especially Indigenous sets, because a lot of the topics that people are writing about or want to produce are about traumatic topics that could re-trigger people in the film industry. So I know that they are looking for counselors to have on set. So maybe that path, I'm not 100% sure. So some short-term goals for me in film would be to go out to Vancouver, finish this gig with Spirit Talker, and then I have my script that I need to work on. So after Spirit Talker gig, I'm hoping I can take a little break and focus on my main job and finishing the semester of school. And then I have to put all my focus into my script, which is being created in June of 2024. I made a short film called Indigenous Identity, where I talk about, so I came up with the idea and where everything was going to be shot and all that stuff. That was kind of a solo project, I guess, besides the help of my sister who acted in it. And that film talks about my journey with my Indigenous identity and kind of accepting it. When I was a kid, I didn't feel like I had a place or fit in my culture with my identity, so I kind of talk about that in the story. And I wrote a short script and produced my film called Gilamos, and it's about a boy named Johnny who encounters the Gilamos Sisik, which is the little people in the Mausi culture, and he has to talk to elders and figure out how to live amongst these little people. So those are two projects I've written and produced and created, but also with the help of others. So a lot of my experience has been in short films or TV. So I've done some TV where it's short episodes, and I haven't worked on any feature-length films yet, so I can't really speak to that. I would like to. I think that would be really fun, and just to kind of see what the difference is in a feature-length film and a short film. My whole life, I feel like I've been walking in two worlds. I went to school in a non-Indigenous environment, and I also went to Dalhousie in Halifax, which is way far away from home and everyone I knew. And basically had to support myself while I was there. And in turn, what I mean by support myself is when I was navigating this world, like a colonial institute like Dalhousie, I had no one really to turn to. We had an Indigenous center, but it was very little. Like there's probably not that many Indigenous youth or students who went to Dal at the time, which was in 2017. No, 2013. I was only 17 when I went off to school. Oh my god, I left my home, went 6 hours away at a freaking huge city, and only 17. Basically, I had to try to find any supports I could to help navigate this space. So we had the culture center. That's where I done some like beading workshops there. Also, I had some really good professors who I still have relationships with today. Some indigenous ones. So they were a great support for me and encouragement too. I think one of them really helped me get out of my shell because I was very, very quiet growing up. Yeah, it was really challenging and I'm still going through it today. Like right now, my organization, not my organization, but right now at the organization that I work at, I'm the only indigenous person. So a lot of times it's very challenging and sometimes very draining to be the only indigenous person in this space, because a lot of times they come to me for all the answers and I don't have them. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do and who I am and my identity, because I never grew up practicing culture or being exposed to culture at a young age. Something that I kind of seeked out as I got older. And also working in spaces that aren't built for you. So like the colonial thinking, like time, I have to show up at 8:30 all the time, or like, not that I do, I always show up on Indian time, but you know, just trying to navigate those colonial constructs that you grew up on the reserve and things are done a different way, and then you go into the westernized world and things are done another way. So it's like, how do I keep my ways of knowing and ways of being and also navigate this world that wasn't meant for me? How do I incorporate my culture in my everyday life? I smudge every day. I try to use the language. So up until recently, I didn't really do much of my culture. Like I think 2022 and 2023 is where it really started figuring out my indigenous identity, like my film. So once I had a hard time living in Neqotkuk, to be honest. I lived here for after school for like 4 years, worked here, lived here. I spent a lot of my time drinking, partying, and then once I moved to officer, for me, that was what was best for my mental health. I don't drink that much, and I'm a lot more grounded officer than I am. Like I love being home and love being with my family and being in my community, because it's a safe space. It's just, for me, it was challenging being a young adult with not much to do besides go out and party. So once I left the reserve and I moved to Fredericton to start going to school and working there and all that stuff, I was bored, first of all, because I didn't have any friends down there. So I started looking for stuff to do. I took a language course with St. Mary's, so I spent, I think, like 8 weeks doing that, and I did that twice, and that was really fun and got me connected to culture and singing. I also joined a drum group that was hosted by UMB, so that was like every, I don't know, Wednesday night or something. So I would do that every Wednesday and be singing and chanting our songs. And then, yeah, I started creating my bundle. I made a drum, I created a rattle, where I was giving medicines and stuff, and I asked my grandfather to make me a basket for my bundle, which he did, so I have that on the go. And then, aside from all that, I also really wanted my spirit name. I felt like I also have to honor my spirit name coming up soon in February, because it's been a year since I got it. When I was in language class, we were talking about spirit names, and I was like, oh, I really, really want mine. I want mine. How do I like get it or whatever? And then my teacher was like, it'll come when it's meant to come. So I asked creators, like, please, I really want my spirit name. I think I'm ready. And then, like, literally the next day, one of my peers were like, hey Ash, we're doing a spirit naming ceremony. Do you want to come? It's next week. And I was like, yes. So it just worked out. Spirits were listening to me, I guess, and they're like, yeah, you're ready for your spirit name. Which I got through a pipe ceremony with a couple of my peers from UMB, and these are peers that have kind of been around since my whole time being a student at UMB. I've done a lot of like workshops with them and stuff. They're really great. And yeah, we did the pipe ceremony, and at this time in my life when I got my spirit name, I was like so done. I was ready to it's like, oh, I'm so sick of helping people. I'm like so tired. I hate being like an advocate and for Indigenous people in the workspace and everywhere else that I do my stuff. Like I was just so done. And I got my spirit name. My spirit name is Amagas, which means to help other people transform. And I was like, oh my god. It's like, Brie, I did not. Like, I'm so done with this. I'm so done in this like work. Like, I just want to sit and hide. But no, I guess that's my path at this moment in my life, is to help others transform. And I think that shows kind of in the work I'm doing. Like, I kind of fell in counseling. I'm working with youth on like the NBA Youth Council and making waves. So kind of helping them transform and learn about healthy relationships or advocate for themselves with the government. And also being a counselor too helps people self-reflect, and including myself. I've learned a lot during this school journey. Yeah, and still learning. I enjoy drumming and singing. I don't do as much as I used to, but I try to when I have the time. I smudge every day. I do know some of our language, not all of it. It's hard because when you're not in it, immersed in it every day, it's hard to like kind of keep that and actually use it. And that's how I use it in my everyday life. I honor my spirit name, and I hope that I'm giving it justice, and I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do based on it.
Neqotkuk N'Tetli Mikwi Tahasoltipen. Too big we are remembering.
Hey!